Yo, Mike. Yo, Mikey. Hey, you hear that wind? Look, every time I got a major word from God, that wind picks up, man. That's like confirmation. You know, that's something that the atheists and all those little knuckleheads can't explain. Wind, can you see it? No, I can't see it. Can you see what it does? Yeah, but can you see the wind? No. Is it there? Yeah. Gee, you must have faith that it's there. Oh, I'm still fat, in case you're wondering. I'm working on that. Hey, I want to respond to your video about the sculpture that I got for you. And I thought it was interesting. I didn't respond back to your message right away, but I went to the gym, worked out, and was thinking about it. And it's interesting. You compared me giving you that sculpture to somebody who rapes a rapist, who impregnates a woman, who gets pregnant with that child. So it's like the sculpture was signifying the child of rape. So I must be the rapist. And you're saying, forget who gave it to you. It's beautiful, you love it, and you're going to cherish it. Oh, I'm like, okay. And then you went on to say that you didn't like what I did, and you know, didn't agree with it. And here's what I want to ask you, Mike. Is it what I do that bothers you, or is it how I do it? Does it bother you that I'm asking a man claiming to be a Christian pastor to verify a story, to verify beyond any reasonable doubt that the story is true, that he used to justify abortion? Basically saying you wouldn't have your statue. Does it bother you that I'm asking that question? Or does it bother you how I'm asking that question? That's what it boils down to. The issue of Javid and the Latasha story goes beyond Javid the person. Goes beyond that. What it does is it strikes at the core of Christianity on YouTube. And it raises some serious questions. It makes people think. It makes people very, very uncomfortable. And you're a pastor. Do you have a pastoral code that you won't challenge a potential wolf in the pack? That you won't demand that he prove that? Is it the fact that I'm asking the questions? That I'm pushing for the truth? Or is it how I'm doing it? Because they're two very different things. If you're upset with how I'm doing it, okay. You know, not everybody likes everybody's style. Some people like opera, some people like hard rock, you know, and the two will never meet. You may not like how I'm doing it, but the question is, do you understand why I'm doing it? Do you disagree with the questions? Do you disagree with questioning a pastor? Do you disagree with pushing for the truth? Do you disagree that a pastor in the pulpit needs to be beyond reproach? That has to be everything truthful? That has to have the integrity above and beyond the flock? That a pastor, a shepherd, needs to be the shepherd, needs to be the leader? Needs to have the integrity. And because he's leading, he's teaching, he's supposed to be a shepherd. Does that mean anything to you? Is that important to you? And here we have a story that nobody can prove, nobody can find any truth of. And yet, people like yourself, Mike, people like yourself, a pastor, you won't push for the truth. You won't push for the truth. Now that is upsetting. That is challenging. So what is really going on, Mike? What is really going on? You put yourself into the middle of it by saying that he had the information he could fax to you. Has he faxed it to you? Listen, this issue is not going to go away. And YouTube is not going to, let this thing go. and it's not just me, other people are on it, other people are concerned, for the body of Christ on YouTube. If your pastor in your church did something like that, would you question him? If your pastor went up to the pulpit, your boss, your pastor of your church went up to the pulpit and told the story David told, would you just take it at face value, or would you start, because you haven't been at that church that long, would you start asking people around church, hey man, tell me about this story, tell me about Tasha, man, tell me what. And if everybody said, I don't know, how would you respond to that? How would you respond if your pastor told that story and nobody could verify any piece of it? Mike, you may not like how I do it. You may not like how I do things. That's okay. If you don't like what I'm doing, if you don't like the essence and the substance of what we are doing, you really need to look at it. You really need to look at yourself, man. And you really, really, really need to look at what Jesus Christ did on that cross for you. God bless you, brother. God bless you. Comparing me to a rapist. Very interesting. I won't take the offense that was intended. God bless you.